Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing very well and you've been enjoying your VCC classes that has been going on. We were doing Prezi writing and we will be continuing that today. In case there is any problem, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we'll proceed with whatever has been planned for this class. If there's any query, any problem, any doubt, you can ask me. Although Prezi writing is easy if you keep a focus, because you don't have to talk about your thoughts, your views, or your opinions. You just have to, make it short, whatever has been given to you. It's pretty interesting also. But what needs to be kept in mind is that we need to understand, we need to focus on understanding the original text so that when we write Prezi writing, we do not change the meaning of any sentence or change the context altogether, right? Pretty, I'm fine, I'm feeling a little better. So this is what it is about. We will be just discussing today the some characteristics of Prezi writing, what are the do's and the don'ts, what are the features. So we will be discussing everything one by one, and then we will be practicing examples. But in terms of concept or the basically theory, if there is any problem that you have, you can ask me now. I'll give you 2 minutes. Uh, Anything that you do not understand about the steps, maybe about the Prezi writing altogether, or how it can help you, any question that you have. According to me, it's a very scoring topic. So I think you get at least one question from Prezi writing, and if you practice pretty well, you can actually score good score in this particular topic. I do understand your question, Lakshita. Please send it again. What we've written in final draft, I don't get it. Uh, okay, first draft and final draft. So Zeba asks, what is the difference between first draft and the last draft, final draft? Now, it's pretty easy to understand that when we prepare a first draft, we might add details that are not required. Our language might not be on point. We might miss out onto something very important that we needed to add. We want to add something, delete something, in the first draft for anything, any time when we are writing something for the first time, that will have mistakes. Okay. So when we prepare final draft is after reviewing it pretty well, after checking it again if there is any mistake or not. And as per you, in the final draft, you should be able to cover all the main points briefly. There should not be any language error. So there should not be any error from the language perspective. Lakshita, I still don't understand what you've written. Means which language? Which language? When I say language, I mean the grammar I'm talking about, sentence structures, grammar. These things should not be wrong. Capitalization, punctuation error. So, it is small technicalities that you need to edit from going from the first draft to the final draft. Right? That's the difference. Divya, do you want me to explain the steps again? Is that what you mean? I mean, I've got it. I've got it. I'll explain the difference between summary and précis writing. So, Ziva, your talk is clear. Lakshita, do you want me to, are you writing the question again? Otherwise, I'll proceed further. Lakshita, you will not if question on the steps of précis writing. Nobody asks such a question in English, right? This is for your understanding, how you should proceed. You will never get a step. Okay. Now, Abhinav, précis writing जो होता है वो एक बड़े पैसेज का सेम एग्जैक्ट कॉपी होता है पर एक छोटे फॉर्म में, राइट? जो समरी होती है वो समरी एक छोटी सी डिस्क्रिप्शन होती है किसी भी चीज के बारे में, दैट यू नो इन योर लेमैन लैंग्वेज दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव अंडरस्टूड, राइट? बट प्रेसिव राइटिंग में आप किसी चीज को डेलिबरेटली शॉर्ट करते हो, राइट? जब आप चीज को शॉर्ट करते हो तो आप उसका जो ओरिजिनल मीनिंग है वो चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो, right? You just have to try to make it short, adding there all the main points. आप अपनी मर्जी से कोई और पॉइंट ऐड नहीं कर सकते हो, अपना परसेप्शन ऐड नहीं कर सकते हो, पर समरी में दैट लिबर्टी यू हैव. आप वो आप इस तरीके से डिस्क्रिप्शन दे सकते हो जो आपको समझ आया, राइट? बट प्रेसिस राइटिंग में ऐसा नहीं होता. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या टोन यूज हुआ हुआ है, क्या मूड यूज हुआ है ऑथर का, और आप उसी चीज को छोटा करते हो. आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में उसको चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो. I mean, उसका मीनिंग चेंज नहीं करते. Okay, that's the basic difference between both. Are we clear? Okay, now let's start with the I'm just sharing my PPT. Now, to explain you briefly that what are the qualities of a good précis. Now, what are the qualities? It needs to be accurate. It needs to be precise, right? The word precise and precise is one and the same, right? So it needs to be accurate in terms of details. All the facts and the information should be covered in the précis writing. No necessary detail needs to be lost. It has to be clear. It has to be coherent. Now, why clear and coherent? All of this I have already explained to you, all the characteristics. So clear and coherent means that it needs to have a clarity and it has to be well related with each other. It needs to be well connected. It needs to be original, right? What do you mean by original? Yes, Kriti, it is. It is. It's raining cats and dogs. Uh, right. So what do you mean by original? When I use the word original, what does that mean? Something real, yes. Something that is written originally by you, and then there has to be suitable title. Yes, I won't call it a characteristic. It's supposed to be features. Now, what are the features of Prezi writing? I'm just reinforcing so that you understand what it means. Now, the few things that you need to keep in mind is a Prezi is usually short and to the point as compared to the original passage. Um, of course, because it being to the point makes it short, because when in an original text you might be talking about 5 points and then you're explaining every point in two lines, so that makes the text pretty long, right? So precipitating is a short way and it sticks to the point. Like I said, you need to cover all the main points. It is an ideal demonstration of content in the original passage. It just demonstrates the content of the original passage, right? In a brief way and in a direct way. Prezi filters out supporting ideas, supplementary details, illustrations of the original passage. Now, what does that mean? Like I just said, whatever supporting ideas or evidences or details that are given to explain about the main points, that is all deleted, filtered. Filtered means that you filter it out, right? You keep them separate. So you just pick up the main things and the extra details about that, you just leave that. It is written from the point of view of the original authors of the content. It is written from the point of view of the original authors, not from your perspective. You're like, unlike somebody, you can do that. You have that liberty. But in Prezi writing, you have to stick to the point, and you have to just tell about what the author is saying. Indirect speech is usually used in Prezi writing, of course, because you're talking about somebody else's words. So you would be using indirect speech. Now, I'm sure you all know what direct and indirect speech is. Lecture, you're supposed to write in your own words only. And do not copy the exact statements from the original passage and cut, copy, paste in the Prezi writing. No, it has to be in your words. But the meaning has to be the same. Clear? Yes. Third person pronouns are mostly preferred in Prezi writing. Now, what are third person pronouns? Can you tell me what are third party pronouns? When you said that this is written in third form. I'm waiting for your response. Okay, so words like he, him, his, himself, she, her, herself, it, itself, they, them, theirs, these are all third person pronouns. Okay, great. So most of you could answer that. That's really nice. Now, what précis writing is not? What all things does not make it précis writing? What all mistakes that you can make? What all misunderstandings that you can create so that the text becomes not the précis writing but anything else? The first is that it should not look like a summary or abstract of the passage. Now, summary means like you just change and start describing what the passage. Second is abstract of the passage means that you've taken something from there. It seems like that you just picked up few lines and put it in your précis writing. No, it must not have disconnected facts and statements. I've been telling you this again and again. It has to be coherent in nature. Everything has to be connected. You cannot write your own opinion. That's right. It should not contain any questions. We have already done this, I guess, right? Now, points to avoid in for précis writing. Do not elaborate a lot on a single point. Do not. If you're elaborating every point, then there's no point writing a précis writing. Then the text was good enough, right? So you don't need to add extra details. Do not use your interpretation, criticism, or assumption about the text. Do not copy sentences from the original text or use abbreviations. Now, do not use abbreviations in your, just to make something short. Don't start using the short forms of the things. Okay. Abbreviations are not allowed because, like I said in the last class also, the language has to be perfect. The spelling, the grammar, the sentence structures, everything has to be perfect. You cannot, change and short something in terms of that. Do not break the flow of events and keep the text well connected. So you have to keep the text very well connected. Same things again and again. Are we clear? Yes. Any doubts that anybody has? Look at your screens for your study material. Can you see that? No. One second. Now, these are the points that are given in the study material. I'm just showing them to you so that we don't miss anything. No, Karthik, I receive your messages. It's not been disabled. No. I'm receiving your messages. Now, it must not exceed a 1/3 of the length of the original passage. So you need to see that how long your passage is, and then you have to approximately, you have to make it 1/3. You have to identify the central idea and omit the unnecessary details. Eliminate wordy expressions from the précis. Now, expressions that needs a lot of expression, that explanation, and something that any expression that needs a lot of words to explain, eliminate that. Every précis should have a short and appropriate title. It should be written in the words of author and writer. The main idea of the original text should not be presented in some other order. Should be presented in the same order. Do not introduce your ideas. Do not criticize or change the author's ideas. Are we clear? Any doubts? This we already discussed. Always use third person, reported speech, and past tense while writing. Now, if you look at this first example that is given in your study material, which is so nicely explained, then there is one passage, and then step by step, it explains you that first you identify the main idea, right? Then you identify the main points. You basically list down the points like this for yourself. Then you provide a suitable title. Then you prepare the first draft. Now look at the first draft here, and then look at the edit work and look at the final draft. Now let's compare this. Let's just take up this example. It's very nicely explained step by step. And if you have any doubts, that will be cleared. Okay, can you all see the passage on your screens? Read the passage quickly. Done? I think it's already pretty zoomed. Yeah. No, Manvi, in exams, you don't have to show the first draft or final draft, only one draft that you have to write. Okay, now so look at the first step that has been given here. The texts, Divya, please refer dictionary for such words. Do not message me fear of deaths. It details why some people fear death and how this fear can be overcome. Do you all agree with the main idea? Is this what this text about? Is this what this text is about? It's about discussing people's fear of death, and then it details why some people fear death and how this fear can be overcome. Are we clear with the step one? So first thing is that you identify, right? Now you can read the passage once again and identify the main points and the facts. If you can, without looking at the answer, if you could just send me the main points, that would be really helpful. Tell me the main points that you feel are main. Quick, quick, quick. We cannot spend so much of time on this. Am I not audible to you guys? Hello, sir? Hello? Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, now look at here. Identify the main point. It first talks about we do not fear death if we live in an active life. Those people who fear death the most are the ones who spend much time sitting and studying. This happens because they lead an inactive and peaceful life and do not want any change. The more sensible way of ridding oneself of the fear of death is by valuing life. We should be comfortable with the knowledge that life is unpredictable and that our hold upon life is very uncertain, right? Now, any other point that you want to add here? Good, Seva. Any point that you feel is missing? Now, these are the points that we discussed here. Yes. Okay. Now look at the provide a suitable title. This is fear of death, which is pretty easy to even guess. Now let's come to the first line. First drop. If we lead an active life facing dangers, we will fear death less. People who spend a lot of their time lazing around and leading a peaceful life are the ones who are most afraid of death. This is because they don't want any change. The most sensible way of getting rid of the fear of death is to value life properly. If we do not give unnecessary importance to our life, we will not feel the pang of death. Now, you've seen this draft? Yes. Now look at this draft and then look at this text. Does it look like a one third? Does it look like one third? Okay, maybe almost, but this still. If you have to delete something from this text, what will you delete? Surya. Surya, it seems right to me. What's the problem in the second point? After the first draft, look at the second draft. Now, how they have done technically is that the first passage was around 200 words. Now, the one third of 200 is basically somewhere around some 60 words, more than 60, but less than 70. The first draft was 80 words, so it needs to be edited again. People who spend a lot of their time lazing around and leading a peaceful life are the ones who are most afraid of death. This is because they do not want any change. Can be rewritten more. Now, this sentence can be rewritten. Now, it tells you that there is one sentence which is pretty long. You can rewrite it and make it short, right? So, people who spend a lot of their time lazing around and leading a peaceful life are the ones who are most afraid of death. This is because they do not want any change. Can be written more simply in the following manner. People who lead a lazy and peaceful life are the most afraid of death. Now, you see how words can be shortened, right? Now, look at the last draft. If we lead an active life facing dangers, we will fear death less. People who lead a lazy and peaceful life fear change and are most afraid of death. The most sensible way of getting rid of fear of death is to value life properly. If we do not give unnecessary importance to our life, we will not fear the pang of death. Are we clear? Okay, I think you guys are getting confused with one statement here. Okay, so now I'm going to share an example with you. I want you to go through it and then we'll bifurcate it in the same way. Are we ready? We do step one, step two, step three, step four, one by one. Shall we start doing it? Okay, start reading this one, this text. Okay, I'm just zooming it. Okay, now is it readable? It is still not visible. Okay, one second. Okay, if this one is not visible, one second, then take this one, this example. I'm going to copy that in the Word document and then show it to you. This one is smaller and this is more readable too. Okay, read this one. I have just changed the topic because that was not readable for most of you. I'll just copy that in the Word document and then show it to you with the bigger fonts. In the meantime, we can start with this one. I'll do that in the 5 minutes break that I'll have. Read this one and tell me the main idea. Are you done reading with this? This one is easy. Okay. Teaching is the noblest occupation. Teacher has a secretary. ओके सर वो कुछ वॉइस का इश्यू था ठीक है Okay, so it's most, you know that this is about the teachers and teaching profession and the virtues of a teacher. Okay, now pick up the main points from this passage. Pick up the 3, 4, 5, as many you think are important that needs to be added in your précis writing. Okay. All right. Quickly tell me the main points. Okay, a teacher is molding the character. Okay, so I think there are just two, three main points that we're discussing here. That one, it is a teaching is a noblest profession as well as a sacred duty that somebody needs to perform. A teacher rests the responsibility of molding the character of the young children. This is only possible if somebody lives that kind of a life, right? And fourth, that even if a teacher grows in age, that a teacher has to remain young in the inspired for the children. And fifth is that no matter how a teacher is feeling, it is only the innocent children that makes the difference in his life. Are we clear? Yes. Now, can you give me a title for this one, a suitable title? No, Divya. It's talking about a noblest profession. It also talks about that there's a duty that a teacher needs to perform. And it's also explaining about that a teacher has a responsibility for molding the character of young children. But this is only possible if the teacher also lives such a life, that the teacher has also successfully cultivated those habits. Can you think of a title? Title, please. That should not take much time. Just a title. Role of a teacher, teaching a noble profession, role of a teacher in child's life, qualities of a teacher. Lakshita, no. Now, this is where you're going wrong. Where does it use the word God in the entire text? It is not talking about a teacher and a student has that kind of a relationship. It doesn't say so explicitly. And you cannot have such a big title, importance and hard work of a teacher as per the student. No. Role of a teacher in child's life. I think it's primarily about teacher, teaching, what a a teacher does. Why it is called a noble profession. Surya, what is the title? No. Surya, it is not perfect, because nowhere we are talking about nation building. Where are we talking about nation building here? Please stick to the topic. Whatever the passages, the title has to be accordingly. You cannot write anything. Your titles can mislead them in that case. Teacher, a noble profession. This is simple and nice. Teacher's life, nowhere does it talk about teacher's life here. Why is everyone talking about importance of teachers? We are not talking about that, how teachers are important and how we need to respect them. Are we talking about that in the passage? That how everybody needs to consider and give credits to teacher for their sacrifice and whatever. Are we talking about that in the passage? Yes, teacher's contribution is there in a child's life, that I can agree. But where does it talks about importance of teacher? There's a difference. See, these titles are different. For me, it is just simple that I can give two headings. One is teaching, semicolon, and it says a noblest profession, or I can just say, no, it's not who's a teacher. We're not explaining the definition of teacher. We're talking about the duties, or what virtues of a good teacher. All right, now is your first, okay, now we're supposed to write the first draft. Now write down the first draft. I cannot check that, but write down that for yourself. Okay, once your first draft is done, just tell me that my first draft is done. I will ask you to read it again, see what needs to be changed, and then we'll come up with a final draft. You have like 3-4 minutes for this because it's not too much. A noble teacher, yes. Good, Nitin. Yes, Mani, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't talk about importance of teaching or importance of a teacher. It doesn't tell you that. Quickly write in the first draft, then you will edit it yourself and write the second draft. Why 10 minutes break, Abhinav? I've already told you the main points in the passage. Writing the first draft should not be difficult. Now see, these are the extra details, what we talk about. And similarly, like for example, the statement that we need to add is the teacher has a responsibility of molding the character of young children. Now, rest 3 lines are the explanation to that how a teacher can mold a child into, and how a teacher has the responsibility of developing their intellect, inculcating the good qualities, like good citizenship, remaining neat, clean, blah blah, and all of that. So this is extra. This we don't need in our précis writing. Okay, now let's look at the Prezi writing ones. A teacher himself leading a simple, pure, and disciplined life can mold the character of the young children and make them neat and good mannered citizens. Besides, he remains very young, forgetting his own domestic worries in the constant company of the young. Here you see how the lines have been combined here. Yes. Okay, Manvi, you were a little close. Good, Kriti. It was a very good attempt, I would say. So Kriti says teaching the noblest profession. A teacher's sacred duty is not just developing children's intellect, but also of molding the character of young children. A good teacher is who himself leads a simple, pure, and rigidly disciplined life with young spirit. Just one line is missing here that a teacher forgets his own domestic worries in the company of the young children. But it was a very good attempt. Anybody else? Is do you think in this Prezi any point is missing from the passage? No, Zeba. You were somewhere just picking up lines. Now, Kartik, you've written the response. Teaching is the noblest of all professions. The responsibility of molding character, inscribing virtues, morals, sincerity, and discipline all lies in the hands of a teacher. But not only that, teacher can inculcate the value who himself follows a simple, pure, and disciplined life. Now, where does it talk about inscribing virtues and morals in the kids? You just added words by your own self. These things are not mentioned in the Prezi writing. So, see, again, you will go wrong here. That's okay, Preeti. So, Karthik, you are using words that are not required. Anybody else who would like to show me your draft? Okay, Bhumika, you picked up two lines, but that does not say everything else. You have to cover all the main points, remember? So in your these two, three lines are everybody. Yes, Nitil, that's so correct. So Nitil says that to do this pressive writing, one should have a great knowledge of make the perfect sentences. Yes. Now you have to combine two or three sentences into one. So you need to have a good grip over writing. Okay. Are we clear with this example? Now let's just take a 5 minutes break and come back and then we'll continue with another example. And if you have any problems, you can just leave that in the query box as well. Yeah, hi everyone. So I am going to just show you one Prezi from one of your mock test papers. I think it's a great exercise. Let's just look that up and then let's just try to solve that. It's a 5 mark question which is given in a mock test paper. I'm just sharing the screen. Let's just take one more example, then I'll give you some break. We'll be discussing other things about Prezi writing. Let's just take one more example. This is the one. And let's discuss what is it about. So there's a passage given to you. It's a very short passage. The skill that we are judging here is, and what we're going to mark you for is that how well you can write this short paragraph even shorter. Clear? Yes. Now quickly read and just tell me what is the central idea of this press writing. Saima, I just read your response. I think you just mixed the understanding of the text with something else. My passage is not clear. It should be clear. Is it clear now? Okay. I hope now this is readable to you. Okay, quickly, the central idea. Is it just about speech? No, no, no. Ziba, is it only about the blessing of the speech? Is it? Good Kriti, good attempt. It is a speech, a gift, or a curse. Speech is a great blessing, but it can also be a great curse for all while it helps us to make our intentions and desires known to our fellows. It can also, if we use it carelessly, make our attitude completely misunderstood, a slip of the tongue, the use of the unusual word or an ambiguous word, or so and so on, may create an enemy where we had hoped to win a friend. Again, different classes of people use different vocabularies, and the ordinary speech of an educated man may strike an uneducated listeners as pompous. Unwittingly, we may use a word which bears a different meaning to our listener from which it is to me men of our own class. Thus, speech is not a gift to use lightly without thought, but one which demands careful handling. Only a fool will express alike to all kinds and conditions of men. Speech, a friend and a foe. Very good. See, yes, because this passage is about it, how speech is a great blessing, but it can actually turn into something wrong also if we don't know how to speak well. If we use ambiguous words or unusual words, or we have a slip of tongue, we just say something that was not needed to say. So we might create enemies in that sense. Are you clear with the passage, everyone? So can you give me the main points of precis writing of this passage? Abhinav, where is it talking about signs? Please do not use words which are not explained in the passage. Where does it talk about it's an art or it's a science? No, it is not, Abhinav. It's absolutely wrong. Main points. Good speech is blessing is fine, but it doesn't only just talk about the blessing and goodness. Bhavna, where is it talking about classes of speech? Where is it talking about only make our attitude misunderstood? Okay. I am so sorry, guys. There was some electricity issue from my end. No, no, the class is not over. I'm back. I'm back. Uh, yeah, so we were discussing about the prezi writing. I hope everyone is here. Nobody has left yet. Oh, I see. So many have already sent things to me. Okay, speech is a great blessing. Okay, I'll just share the screen with you. I'm just in the meantime reading your precis that you have already sent to me. Okay, okay. I've been reading your precis, and I feel that what we all are doing is that we end up explaining in our own words and changing the meaning. That's exactly what we're not supposed to do when it comes to crazy writing. Now, look here. So, one of you have sent me a slip of tongue can make lose a friend where we intended to. Okay, so I'm going to read one of you's press completely, and then you will tell me what is the problem. It is not to find mistakes in somebody's work, it is about knowing what we should do and what we should not do. So together we all can learn from each other's responses. I will be reading the responses out to you, and then you tell me what is the problem with this response. I hope this press is clear to you. It is very easy. It's in very easy language. So one of you writes, a speech can be both a great blessing or turn out to be a curse. Now, when you're using such a sentence, a speech can be both a great blessing or turn out to be a curse. Can we just say a speech can be both a great blessing or a curse? Yes, we are just reducing few words. Yes, and we are saving some words because we need to maintain the length. Oh, and we need to be, maintain the one length of 1/3 of the length. We need to maintain the length as a 1/3 of the passage, right? So, can we reduce some words here? Now, it's a blessing if our intentions and attitude followed by no ambiguity. Otherwise, it turns out to be the curse. Now, there's so many words used, right? And it does not say that way in the text too. You have changed some meanings to it, right? It doesn't say it's a blessing if our intentions and attitude followed by no ambiguity. Otherwise, it turns out to be a curse. No, it's just, it doesn't sound right, right? A slip of tongue can make lose a friend where we intended to win him. Okay. Next, at times we may use a word that bears different meanings to the listener from what it does to us. Thus, speech ought not to be made without thought or and careless handling. Okay, now you've picked up the words as it is. Is there any change in the words? Okay, there's another one who writes, speech a blessing or a curse. I agree with your hitting. Speech is a blessing, but can be become a curse while misused in different classes of men. It can be misinterpreted to be a pompous or even turn a friend into an enemy. Hence, speech is a gift provided it's used wisely. Okay, now this seems okay to me. This is kind of short and it sticks to the point as well. It is direct also. Mm, okay, so somewhere somewhere you guys are trying to be in sequence. You're trying to follow the pattern, and somewhere you're trying to stick to the précis as well. I appreciate that, but make sure that you practice, and you do not pick the sentences directly from the passage. Don't do that. Okay. And try to make it as short as possible. See if I can just combine these two sentences or not. For example, I just told you, if I'm saying, look at the first line of the précis, it says speech is a great blessing but can also be a great curse, for while it helps us to make our intentions and desires known to our fellows. Now just make it short. We don't need such an explanation. We can just simply say speech can be a great blessing but can also be a great curse. Simple, finished. Right? No more explanations about it. Right? Now, what it actually had to be. It should have been, speech can be a blessing or a curse depending on how we use it. A wrong choice of words can make a foe instead of a friend. A strong vocabulary might imply something different to our listener based on classes and knowledge of words. Hence, speech is a special gift to be used wisely. Only a fool would use a word alike in front of all men in all situations. Right? Just keep it simple. So it just simply says that, how we speak can make a difference. The vocabulary that we use makes a difference. And how we need to be careful. Clear? Are we in sync with what précis writing is? Did these examples help you? Do you understand what you are actually supposed to do? Yes, you need to alter the sentences a little bit. Are you clear with what précis writing is? And how you should write? Were these examples helpful? In case there's any problem that you feel that, ma'am, I don't understand this and I'm getting stuck here, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I'll just do what I have to do towards the end of the lecture. Yes, Keshav, it is supposed to be that. I know, Manvi, it's on the study, it's in the study, no, it's on the website actually, in the answers of mock test paper. I just read it from there. Now, so there, when it comes to I'm going to just tell you some general considerations and some general points about Karthik, you were asking for an extra book for the practice. I think these days everything is available on internet. You can just pick up things from internet and practice them. You will find a number of questions and there are answers also to compare your answer with. So I think that should be enough. You don't need anything extra. Besides that, your study material, ICI study material, has enough of examples to practice. Even if you do that, I think that should be good enough for the exam. So I think it's a very out of the context question. Difference between precis and drafting a conclusion, I don't understand. By the way, yes, I think it will be asked in the question. Yes, it will carry some marks too. Keshav, you might have to alter the words because if you are combining two sentences together and making it one, you might have to use a little different words that combine everything together, that binds everything together. But please, 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 I'm repeating this again and again. I think I've repeated this almost 3 times. Do not change the meaning of the text. Whatever the author is trying to say, whatever the writer is trying to say, we need to maintain that. That cannot be changed. That cannot have any other meaning, right? If you do that, then it's not précis writing. Surya, do you go to ICI, you select the subject that you want to see. When you go to ICI's website and when you open that paper 2, business law and business correspondence and reporting, you will see there is a study material. There are options given: study material, relevant amendments, revision test paper suggested. I mean, I can show you if you want. Okay, see. So you basically go for ICI foundation study material. When you select business laws and business correspondence, this is what opens. And on the page, you will see everything is given there: revision test papers, suggested papers, mock test papers, question papers, reference for quick revision. Everything is mentioned here. So you will find actually n number of examples. Besides this, I don't think you need anything extra. If you want to do it, then internet is always there. Karthik, vocabulary can come out of the book. Obviously, I mean, any question. I'm not saying for précis writing, for any other writing skill, questions will be given directly from the book. No, it doesn't happen anywhere time. I'm just talking about in terms of practice, that this should be enough. But for vocabulary, definitely you will have to read to build your vocabulary. Oh, it's a speech, a curse or a blessing, a boon or bane. You can select anything, right? Or mind what you speak, think before what you speak. You can just give some interesting titles as well, right? So this was about the study material and about your practice sessions. Now let's just understand and reinforce. We can just increase, and we can just revise the tips and the considerations and just few things that we need to remember. It's kind of reinforcement, but I think it's necessary after seeing the examples and the answers. You need to shorten your words. Try if 2-3 words can be combined into one, right? You can you need to remove the unnecessary sentences and unnecessary words from the passage. You need to reproduce what you select as main points. Do not just jot down the same lines as it is, all the lines as it is, and just remove whatever you think is not necessary. It is kind of a brief gist or a summary of the passage expressed in your own words. You need to have your essential thoughts, facts, ideas together, not your own, but what is given in the passage. It has to be in the reported speed. It cannot be in the direct speed. Of course, this we know. Now, what are the three techniques of Prezi writing? One is reading, second is writing, third is reading, writing, revision. First, you read something, you understand. Then you come on to the writing part, and then you revise. Revision is, I am sure this you have learned from your schools itself, from your school's exams itself, that revision is very important no matter which exam you are appearing for, no matter what you're writing, revision is very important, right? So now you read, you find out points, then there is a process of selection of main points, then you jot down what are the main points. Lakshita, we do not have a criteria that you have to give a paragraph of 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs or 2 paragraphs. No, there is no such criteria, right? We can give you as long as passage we want, and then you have to just shorten it to the 1/3 of its length. You understand what 1/3 is? You guys understand what 1/3 is? Yeah. So if it's 90 words, what will the 1/3 of 90 words? How many words that you need to have in your Prezi writing? Nitin, what does your comment mean? No, Prezi writing is not written in points. You can just pick the main points, but if you cannot write the answer in the points, no. What is the 1/3 of 90? 30 words. Very good. Yes, so 30 words, right? So this is what you need to keep in mind. Okay, now I want you to list down three points of do's and don'ts of Prezi writing. Let's see how much you've understood. What are things you should do and what are things you should not do in Prezi writing? Give me an answer, three points each. Simon, of course, there is a word limit if we are saying that you need to maintain the length of the Prezi writing. Automatically, there is a word limit. Okay, quickly give me three points of do's and don'ts of Prezi writing. Let's see how much you've understood. And then we'll take a quickly one more example and then we'll say bye-bye. Good, Manya. I like your response. Kriti, there is a problem in the statement. Write the paragraph in the same word as the author is given. It should mean the same. The context should not change. If you're picking up the same words, then you're picking up the lines from the passage itself. Kartik, you have to write the do's, what you need to keep in mind while writing Prezi writing, not what Prezi writing is and how it helps people. Good, Tanu, one third of the paragraph, stick to the point, no change, don't break the flow of the paragraph. Of course, Sakshi, yes. Sequence and everything in order is very, very important. Yes, don't write your own thoughts. Good, Manvi. Don't change the meaning of text. Don't write your own thoughts. Don't put your viewpoints, right? Good, Bhumika. So Bhumika says should not exceed the one third of the passage length. Yes. Do not change the main idea. Of course, definitely. Don't add your own opinion. Very well. Choose, identify main idea, remove unnecessary details, and find main point. Should be proper sequence. Very good, Bhumika. I like your response. It's crisp and it's to the point. Good, good, Jim. So don't use abbreviation. Don't change the tone of the author. Very nice. Bhargavi, I'm not writing, asking you the steps of Prezi writing. Thank you, Surya. I'm so happy that you understood everything. Anything else? Can we take one more example now that you are clear with the do's and don'ts? Just one like last example and very quickly. I was just trying to pick from the previous years, but that passage is pretty long. Let's pick from the revision test papers. Okay. Right. Let's just look at this one. Look at the second paragraph given. Artificial intelligence one. Can you all read this? Okay. Now I want you to quickly read this and tell me the main idea of this one and how will you write the précis writing for this one. Okay. We'll quickly jump to the précis writing here. Artificial intelligence. Everyone, are we on it? Given a title as well. Yes, it is talking about artificial intelligence, but is it talking about all the good things about artificial intelligence? We can just say that how artificial intelligence is growing in our lives and how it's part of our life now. Precis, quickly give me. Just quickly write a short precis on this. Artificial intelligence helps us manage highly complex systems such as global shipping networks. For example, the system at the heart of the Port Botany Container Terminal in Sydney manages the movement of thousands of shipping containers in and out of the port, controlling a fleet of automated driverless shuttle carriers in a completely human-free zone. Similarly, in the mining industry, optimization engines are increasingly being used to plan, coordinate the movement of resources such as iron ore from initial transport on the hugeless driverless mine trucks to freight trainers that take the ore to port. Artificial intelligence are at work wherever you look, in industries from finance to transportation, monitoring the share market for suspicious trading activity, or assisting with ground and air traffic control. They even help to keep spam out of our inbox. And this is just beginning for artificial intelligence. As the technology advances, so too does the number of applications. So what's the problem? Rather than worrying about the future, artificial intelligence takes over. The real risk is that we can put too much trust in the smart systems we are building. Recall the machine learning by training software to spot patterns in data. Once trained, it is then put to work analyzing fresh, unseen data. But when the computer spits out an answer, we are typically unable to see how it got there. Yes, yes, it shows the two sides of the artificial intelligence these days. Okay, so do you understand the basic crux of this passage? Now, what all we need to discuss in the Prezi? First is that it manages the highly complex systems, right? You can just in one line explain that how artificial intelligence is actually managing the driverless trucks as well, and how it has been part of from finance to transportation, monitoring share market or such trading activity. It is part of everything. Fourth is the risk is that we are putting too much information and trust in smart systems. Right. Fifth point will be that these machines are put to work after their training, and then they analyze a fresh and unseen data too much. But when the computer takes it out on us, we don't know from where it is coming, from where this system got to know about us so much, right? So that is a real risk here. All right. So this was about the artificial intelligence, and this was the Prezi writing, the last topic that I needed to discuss. If there is any problem, then you can ask me now. Otherwise, we'll get going for this topic. We'll put an end to this topic right here. You can ask me if there is any problem, anything that is not clear to you. If everything is clear to you, mention that everything is good, everything is clear. I hope you're able to attempt this topic very well because it's again very sporadic, like I just said. It's not very difficult to master. You just need to have good grammar skills, you need to have good sentence structure skills. Karthik, in this particular passage, that example explains a lot about artificial intelligence, some main points about it. Like I said, you need to choose what you need to add in the précis writing or not. I mean, don't consider that it's just for examples, it's irrelevant. No, if you use it effectively, it won't make it longer. You don't have to write the entire example as it is in 5 lines. You just have to pick one main statement, that's it. Pretty not all examples. This one particular example had something very important about the passage. That was the 5-6 lines long example that was telling us about it, how artificial intelligence manages driverless trucks and driverless ships, and it's all working on AI. Anything else that you want to consider and ask? I appreciate the ones who are sending me answers. All right, so this was about précis writing. Now I'm going to leave, and I hope you attempt this paper very well. And I'll see you next time. I think I have a class on Monday also with you, so I'll see you on Monday now. All right, guys. Bye bye. Take care and have a good evening. All right.